Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another topic related to HTML button attributes, where we will learn about another new topic, or you can say the new attribute, which is access key. Okay, so in this session, we are going to learn how we can use access key attribute in HTML, what are the benefits of using access key, and what syntax or structure we are supposed to follow in order to use it. Along with this, what we will also learn like what are the differences when we are not using this access key and using the access key. Okay, so in short, like we are going to verify each and everything after the code is done. So we are going to proceed in the same manner. Like firstly, I'll explain you the basic code which I have already written here. Then we will write the we will create one simple form. We'll try to understand the requirement of access key, like why do we need access key, and then we will write and create a button with access key. And at last, we will discuss like how we can uh, uh, verify the things when we are done with the changes. Okay, but before we start the session, I have two requests for you. One is like if you have not watched the previously released session, then please go and check out those sessions first, because these all sessions are in proper sync and sequence. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. Okay, and my another request is please do share the answer of this question which we have already discussed. So it would help other also, like let's say if someone is not aware of this answer of this question, so they can directly take a reference from the comment section, and it will also help you to prepare for the exam or for the interview. So please recall your knowledge and share your thoughts in the comment section. So question for today is, why do we use form no validate in HTML buttons? Clear? Fine. So now if I talk about the basic code, so I have just noted down the basic HTML thing with one heading, HTML by Sharmit. Now I'll save this code and refresh my browser, so it is looking like this. Okay, so as we are talking about the access key, so let's put one heading first. So here I will write access key, access key attribute, but or we can write like this: button access key attribute in HTML form. Okay, so I just mentioned it like this: button access key attribute in HTML form. Although you can use it outside the HTML form as well, but we are learning everything in terms of HTML form, so that's why I have just mentioned like this. Now what we are going to do, we are going to add another thing which is very important, the form, because everything is related to form, so it's better to declare the form itself. So we will assign that action type here. These all things we have already discussed, like what is action and everything. So here I'll assign my page t as pgm10, and now I'll create a basic form with one input field and one normal button. So let's add the input field here. So here I will provide the type as text, then name, which is username, then I'll provide placeholder, and placeholder would be username. Okay, so yeah, we are ready with this field. Now it's time to declare one normal button. So here I'll write button normal button, and the type of this button would be submit, although the by default type is also submit, but still we will specify it here so that others can learn from it. So submit. Now if I save this code and refresh my browser, you will see that we have just added one heading, which is button access key attribute in HTML form, with one input field and one normal button. Now my question is, let's say if I want to submit my form, so what I can do, I can write my data here, and then I can simply click on this button and it will take my data to the next page, whatever we have specified here. So you can see here username ABC is there. So is there any other way through which we can submit this? Yes, we have. Let's say if I my focus is on this button, and if I press enter, so in that case also it will allow us to send the data. So these are the two by default method with button, like when we click on this button, or when we press tab key to get the focus on this button and press enter, or maybe whenever we are on this button and press enter, it will automatically submit the form. Clear? But the next thing is, the requirement is we want to submit this form but not through the click or not through the uh, this tab and enter. Instead of that, I want to assign a particular key, and whenever I'm going to use that key, it should submit the data. So how we can do this? So to achieve this thing, we will utilize the access key, and access key is only used to associate a particular key with a button that we can use to trigger the button action. Clear? So let's see how we will do this. So to do this, let's add one more new button here. Button. Button name would be button with access key. This is not mandatory thing, I'm just writing it just to explain you the things, like what is the difference between these two button. Okay, otherwise you can give any name. Now here I'll specify the type as submit. Then here we will specify the next thing, which is access key itself, and I'm assigning the key as S, letter S. Now save this code and refresh your browser. Now here I can put some data, and now without clicking on this button, I will submit my form. How? Let's see. I will simply press Alt, Alt key and S, and you can see it has submitted the data. That means now we have a shortcut key for this particular button. So whenever I press Alt and S, it submits my data to the next form. And this is what we were looking for, right? Now some of you might be thinking, like we have specified here small s, so will it work if I try with capital S? Yes, it will work. There's no case sensitive. It is not case sensitive. So if I press Alt and S, it submits the data without any issue. Okay. So this is how we can utilize button with access key, which will help us to trigger the data or to trigger the button action with a shortcut key. So in other terms, let's say if in an interview someone asks you what is the way to add a shortcut key for a particular button to perform a particular action. So in that case, you can simply say we can use access key, and it will allow us to do that. So is it mandatory to use only S? No, it is not. You can put any character here. For example, if I put capital A or any A, so in that case also it will allow us to submit the form. So if I put data, in fact if you are not providing data, that is also fine, because we have not added any validation, so you can see it is coming as a blank. But if you want to apply some data, and then you can press Alt A and it will submit your data to the next page. Clear? Okay, now is it possible to provide more than one character? Let's see. If I save this and refresh my browser, Alt ABC, so it is not working. Why? Okay, let's see. If I click on this, provides a hint for generating a keyboard shortcut for the current element. The attribute consists a space separated list of character. Browser should use first one that exists on the computer keyboard layout. So what it is? Okay, let's make it as space separated. Now save it, refresh it. So if I press Alt A, it is working. Let me refresh it. Alt A, Alt B, Alt C. Let me save this code and refresh it. Alt A, Alt B, Alt C. Okay, fine, no problem. So like you can simply provide one single character and it will work, and you can associate it. For to learn more, like you can simply check here the references as well. It will give you the idea. But in this session, we are just focusing on the way through which we can associate it. But one thing I want to share, like if you are using a Google Chrome, then you can use Alt plus access key. Access key is the key which you are specifying, and Alt is Alt key. If you are using Firefox, then you can use Alt plus Shift plus access key. If you are using Edge, then you can write Alt plus access key. If you are using Internet Explorer, I'm sure like no one is using it because it is not available, but previously it was used for Alt access key and then press enter. Okay, If you are using any other operating system like Mac OS or Unix, Linux, then maybe you can put your request in comment section. I will answer you the shortcut for your operating system. Clear? So I hope this session is clear to all of you. And now I request you to please share the answer of this question. It would help a lot, not only to you, but others as well. So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.